now we see the Republican politicians are doing just that. They're forcing the vote against Kevin McCarthy for speaker, and they're asking for multiple concessions. So we're now into the sixth round, and he's still been a no here. 20 people are still supporting Representative Donald. This is what we asked them to do. So it just goes to show you how spineless the progressives are in the House at this moment. And honestly, it's quite embarrassing to see that they weren't willing to do this, but you have someone like Matt Gaetz who is willing to have the guts to do it.
They're so proud of themselves, these Democrats are. They're sitting there grinning and posting like photos of themselves about how happy they are to watch these Republicans doing what they ran on a campaign pledge to do, which was not just to go in and criticize the Republican Party. We already had Joe Crowley and Elliot Engel and all these incumbents, these squad members took out to do that. It was to go and be a critic of the Democratic Party and the Democratic establishment and to take them on and disrupt them and subvert them. So I'm sure there are some disagreements you have with these holdouts in terms of what they're asking for, although probably some, I would imagine you're in agreement with, like they want a lot more budget and a lot more power for the church committee to investigate what I was just talking about, the abuses of the FBI and the CIA. Long a left-wing cause, but apparently in mainstream circles at least no longer. So I'm wondering if you kind of are watching what these Republicans are doing, even if you obviously disagree with some of the specific demands, with a little bit of envy and maybe even admiration.
There's a little bit of jealousy, I have to admit, because this is what we wanted the squad to do. I'm all for getting rid of organizations like the FBI and defunding the IRS, which I think they're asking for that one as well. I'm all for those things. And I think that it's kind of sad to look back and see that this is exactly what we could have had on the left if we had those politicians that were willing to fight. But I think what people need to understand as well is that it goes past force the vote. It extends further.
Welcome to a special Friday edition of the Nick and CJ Show. I'm one of your hosts. I'm CJ. What's up, Nick?
What's poppin', my friends, my family? Welcome to Nick and CJ Fridays. It's always great to see our powerful sister Savvy's on Glenn's show on System Update. They was talking about the Fraud Squad. We're gonna get to that very soon. Like, there's this exclusive interview. I don't know if you had a chance to read it. So it's AOC went on corporate media and she made a fool of herself. Everyone's clowning her. We did a statement talking about how she pretty much was bragging about being a bootlicker. There's an exclusive interview from Independent where she's like doubling down on that, like laughing at the ruckus that the Republican Party has brought. So we're gonna cover that as well. And what makes AOC and the squad even more foolish is the fact that Kevin McCarthy gave up giant concessions. Giant concessions. I'm gonna cover that here very soon. For example, quick spoiler: they are not allowed to spend PAC money on primary races in safe red states.
What?
Nigga, this is a game changer. Imagine progressives did that, but I'm burying the story. Hold that thought, because not only that, they got military budget decrease. It's insane. It's insane how this strategy that we advocated for in 2021, how successful the right is at getting concessions doing that.
Just imagine, because we have to understand. It may be hard for people to visualize a list of good things we want. You have to. I know you can't do this, but I'm just think big. You have to drop the charges on Julian Assange. You have to. You get what I'm saying? Like, it could, like, just think of the most left thing that you could want, and just think of that as a demand. Just have a little imagination. Go ahead, Nick.
Yeah, imagine if we had that opportunity to have our own ask and demands, right? But we're gonna get into that. I'm gonna explain the concessions, and obviously we're gonna make the parallels between that and the squad. But first thing first, I hope you guys are appreciating this escape from the January 6th madness. I don't know how much you've been paying attention. This is the second anniversary of January 6th. And it is just as cringe as you imagine. They're legitimate. They are about to make January 6th the new 9/11, where every year this shit happens. They're like, oh my God, this is a day to remember our day our democracy was attacked. I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna say this right now, and hopefully we don't get fucked up on YouTube by me saying this. But January 6th was actually very fucking based. You guys understand? January 6th was incredible. I don't know how much you was on Twitter, CJ, especially the day of January 6th. On January 6th, you had two kind of people on Twitter. You had liberal Twitter, Democratic Party Twitter that was freaking the fuck out. And then you have Black Twitter and everyone else that was laughing at the clown. Black Twitter, the day of January 6th, was probably one of the funniest days ever. We was laughing. White people literally freaking out. Oh my God, democracy under attack. Like, nigga, what you guys are going through right now is nothing compared to the countries that you guys democratically overthrew. Of the nonsense that you guys do in our communities. Now, so also, I want everyone to realize that, and this is something you hear all the time. I'll show you guys this tweet from Hakeem Jeffries, and then we'll get to the AOC and Kevin McCarthy story. But I want Democrats to know that we don't give a fuck that the Capitol Police was traumatized. They keep saying this stuff, CJ. We must never forget that sacrifices made by a heroic police officer.
And you notice how they try to make the face of Capitol Police, they try to make it the black guy. You notice that is intentional that they're trying to make. There's other police involved, but they try to make that one black guy who can speak, a little bit on the mic. They try to make him to be the face of Capitol Police. They try to do that all the time. The justice system has the face of a black judge. You know what I mean? If you look at black judge shows, you would think every judge is black.
Yeah, that's true.
That's what they try to do.
Yeah, and there's a reason why they had AOC, Ilhan Omar, and all the squad people debasing themselves, live tweeting the January 6th trial. AOC was like, she put herself front and center. My life was in danger. And she wondered why her approval rating worse than Hillary Clinton, worse than Kamala Harris. Instead of talking about working class issues, the war machine that the Democratic Party is funding more, she made her number one priority January 6th. And CJ, you guys think that was a coincidence that they took the quote unquote Latina progressive star? They have Cori Bush and all these quote unquote progressive stars fearmonger over January 6th. Now all their approval ratings in the other squad has tanked because, as I told the Democratic Party, and I told a bunch of progressives who was melting down, no one gave a shit about January 6th. Actually, I'm gonna see. I didn't have to receive say. I'm gonna see if I can find this poll. I literally covered this poll a while ago. How it showed that January 6th literally didn't change anyone's minds about the midterms. Then I wish I would say that receipt. But to your point, and I'm talking about this because this is obviously the 1 year anniversary. This is some bullshit that we had to deal with. I had
every year.
Yeah, I had a tweet while Primo was like, man, it seems like the right wingers is more down for a revolution than the progressive left who fell in line behind Joe Biden.
The right is actually way further along in their getting their people together to understand that a revolution is needed. They're way further advanced than we are.
Yeah, and they are much more militant as well.
I mean, we're seeing it now displayed in the squad versus the Freedom Caucus. Like, we're literally seeing it right now. But go ahead, Nick.
This is one of the tweets that got me canceled by a lot of the Bernie cracks because they must have misunderstood who I was. I saw this shit going on. Funniest shit I ever seen in my life. And this is what I said. It was a pretty decent tweet. Had a lot of people melting down as well. I said, hilarious how the right wing was more down for a revolution than the progressive left.
Now you got a reaction to that? What is the January 6th reaction though, right? It wasn't a reaction to this last this
oh yeah, this is 2 years ago.
Freedom Caucus. Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, did the January 6th tweet. And it's just one example. I got 10.
I can't see the date. That's why. Go ahead.
I got 10,000 likes on this one, and Black Twitter. It was the funniest thing of all time. One of the most funniest things of all time. And let me say this: there should be a January 6th every fucking week. But the fact the ruling class is melting down about January 6th happening 2 years ago, nigga, there should be a January 6th every week. They should be like, oh goddamn, it's happening again.
We have to understand who they're talking to, and let me just frame it so we can understand what they're doing. To them, this was an assault on something. To them, it's an assault on trying to take down the ruling class. This is what this was to them. So all of this fanfare and heroic, they are heroic to them. You get what I'm saying? And what they're trying to save for them. This is not at all them fighting and worrying about getting everybody Medicare for all. That's not what they're worried about. They're worried about losing their power. And you can see it in what's happening now, because what people are able to see, and I was just watching this Radar with Breonna Joy Gray, what people are able to see is how the Democratic Party is so much less democratic than the Republican Party.
Oh, absolutely.
They were saying how Nancy Pelosi and Justin Amash was on Rising, and maybe we'll play a little bit of it. He was the one that's saying it. The speaker controls everything. The speaker controls all the money. The speaker controls what comes to the floor. The speaker controls what amendments. The speaker controls every single aspect, and Republicans and Democrats are just made to get in line. This is why they go, oh, here's 48 hours, a $5,000 bill. Read it in 2 days and voted on it in 2 days. Because they don't care if they know what's in the bill. You're to vote for it, period. And that's what needs to stop. And that's what some of these concessions are, believe it or not. Maybe one or two of them that they're trying to loosen up. I think you mentioned it, Nick, one of the concessions that he made. These are things that we should have. Being able to recall the no confidence vote for the speaker. Why is that a bad thing unless you're the ruling class?
Now you guys know.
Why is that a bad? Go ahead.
Now you guys know what a capitalist dictatorship look like. That's why it doesn't matter if you watch CNN, MSNBC. Nope. We literally gave you guys different examples. We show you guys MSNBC, Morning Joe melting down about it. We show you guys the Five. The first time I ever showed the Five. The first time I ever did a segment on Hannity. And look at TYT. They melting down about literally everybody.
You know it's gotten to where the boutique left is actually praising the Five and Sean Hannity. Our segment on Boebert, on Lauren Boebert, is completely different than a segment on a Majority Report. It's like Lauren Boebert gets crushed by Sean Hannity, and we're like, what the fuck?
No way.
Are you even talking? Yes, it's out there,
Nick.
It's out there. I saw the video yesterday. Not the video, but I saw the advertisement.
Yeah, we might have to watch that. But speaking of that, the boutique left completely
crazy.
Like we already know the boutique left lost their mind, but they really fucking lost their. Like I saw, because I was on the RBN account. I saw a video from David Dole that popped up, and it was like it was like literally released today. It was like 50 minutes before I started streaming. It was like Pete Buttigieg destroys the Republican. I'm like, what are you talking about? You got progressives doing videos praising Pete Buttigieg. I am not here. Let's see if I can find it. Like, this
oh my god, crazy. You got to be kidding me, Nick.
It's literally
You've got to be kidding me.
I'm not gonna play it.
I'm gonna bring up the other one, by the way. Go ahead.
I want to look at this here. Look at this. Who does this? And they think look. This is the shift to the right. And actually,
this is a good thing to show. Yeah,
these people shifted to the right. Look at this. Pete Buttigieg humiliates Fox News. What?
Oh my god.
What?
I'm gonna show you some too. This is just ridiculous.
We're not watching. I literally just saw this on the corner of my eye. That's why I was like, dude. These people are just unapologetically shifting to the right, especially now that forced to vote exposed them. Now that they know they have to defend the squad, despite the fact that they are unhinged imperialists who are bootlickers of the Democratic Party. So they're like, fuck it, I'm out. We'll go full Democratic Party show now. Do videos about Pete Buttigieg.
That's exactly what AOC is doing. She's like, there's no way we're keeping RBN after this bullshit. So we might as well just go for the straight liberals. That's exactly, I think, the calculation that AOC and some other squad members are making and have made.
This is the hold that thought, because we'll get to the AOC story. But I just want to show you guys this. This is the tweet I wanted to save. But I'll pull it up. This is the reality of the situation. Despite all, and you guys don't want to know how pathetic this is. Every news channel everywhere, except Fox News probably. Even they was doing some coverage of this. Everywhere you go on corporate news, in New York Times, Washington Post, they all was spamming January 6th hysteria. And despite that, they still couldn't change public opinion. That's how little the American people
like they hired they hired Hollywood producers.
Oh,
literally, they hired. It was a news cover. They literally hired Hollywood producers to produce the January 6th because they knew people weren't that invested. But we got this here, and we got to figure out a way to get more people invested. But Nick, you thought I was joking. David Pakman, Lauren Boebert, unhinged MSNBC interview. That's how it's described. Look at this. Young Turks shut down. Sean Hannity berates.
No fucking way.
It is crazy.
No way.
Crazy. Republicans
no
play stupid. Yeah, this is crazy, Nick. Complete opposite analysis of us. Complete opposite analysis of us.
So who do you think the better propagandists now? These people are more than Joe or MSNBC because they straight up taking their job now. They doing the same thing, and that's quite literally. I'm shocked that anyone would see the Hannity Boebert because if you go on Twitter, you go on trending, everybody was like, dude, Hannity came off like shit in this interview, especially the people that he tried to appeal to. And I bet you that TYT didn't even do that. They don't realize their individual objective. And I didn't watch the video, obviously. But I'll guarantee you there was a lazy political analysis on this. We broke it down because we do decent political analysis here. When you look at the people that won Boebert,
it's about red and blue to them. It's not about an intellectually observation or analysis without bias, which clearly she won that, Nick. But they have to play the team game. And I just want to show you a couple of more videos. Nick, this is the Serious channel. Andrew Tate, abused victim speak up. They have Andrew Tate. And look at this one right here. Rebel HQ, which is a spinoff of TYT. The Republican Party needs to get it together. What do you mean?
What? Like, so
this is
I explained yesterday why people on CNN and MSNBC and including Fox News like Hannity and the Five were melting down about the House vote is because they're institutionalists. Seeing Congress and the institution of Congress fail hurts them, like on an ideological core because they believe in nothing other than the institutions, right? So if you're a progressive, quote unquote, I'm not even talking about Marxist shit. I literally use that word progressive for a reason. You do not have to be Marxist for this. You can be center left. And you should be against the United States institutions. So my question is, what is the Young Turks mourning for? Why do they believe the Republicans should get together? Because they want more funds to go to Ukraine? What's the logic here? Isn't the Republican Party the extreme anti-trans party that is going to be responsible for the destruction of the globe? So why are you rooting for them to take power as fast as possible?
Because this is what they love to do, Nick, which is so nonsensical because all we got to say is they don't produce legislation. Look, they can't even govern. Nobody can govern here. I don't know what you're talking about trying to act like it's just Republicans. Yes. Nobody can govern. Look, they can't get it together. Did you see the 2 years with Joe Biden? What legislation did we get? What the fuck are you talking about? No $15 minimum wage. What I'm just trying to see what are you talking about? So they're trying to the concessions, Nick, and I want to get to that. I don't want to spoil what the concessions are, but the concessions that they got, it's amazing that no one on the left, no one in white bourgeoisie.
Testing. I don't know if that's me or CJ. I'm assuming CJ, unless someone says otherwise. I think you're glitching, CJ. But I'll read some. I want to show you guys this while we wait for CJ. I think his internet froze. Zayden said our class enemies need to get together. And remember what I told you guys as Marxists, our job is to take advantage of capitalist infighting. We are here to expose the failure within the capitalist structure, and we do so by any means possible. We are here to highlight and exploit the divisions of capital. We are not supposed to be taking a side and then helping prop up the system that we're supposed to be dethroning in the first place. And that's what it seems like they're doing. And they also continue, reformists worship the capitalist state institutions. and we listen to Morning Joe, they will straight up admit they're institutionalists. Yeah, you guys say it was CJ Frozen. So I think I'm gonna dive into the story here. So hopefully, we get CJ back. Reform is just status quo nonsense. Friend of the show here. It's a game show. Yeah, just a game show for these people. I think we can dive into the first story. Hopefully, we get CJ back. Maybe he might be having some internet issues. But this is AOC absolutely debasing herself. So we already showed the interview that she did on MSNBC. She was interviewed by Alex Wagner, who pretty much like the new Rachel Maddow. So she has this new exclusive interview that is even more cringe in a way, right? Check this out. Exclusive. AOC says Republican chaos shows how reasonable progressives like the squad are. AOC ran on raising a ruckus. Now she is bragging about how reasonable she is. And hopefully, since we did our stream last time, you guys has picked up on this keyword here: chaos. Chaos. You see how the progressives, Jamal Bowman is repeating this. This is the memo. They follow the memo of the Democratic Party line, not the what their base in the working class people want them to do. And this says everything. AOC and squad, and I think they got, and this is my personal theory without anything to prove it. I think they got the marching orders from the Democratic Party because they know what force the vote was. They knew what we was asking AOC and the squad to do. So the establishment was like, let's bring those people out, the people who betrayed their base, and have them be the people who talk about Republican chaos. Now, don't get twisted. All of them are doing it. But AOC, primetime, Alex Wagner on MSNBC, exclusives in the Independent here, they are going above and beyond to highlight how the Progressive Caucus, we're not the ruckus causers. We're not fighting for the people. We are here to maintain the institutions. And I'm going to dive into a little bit of the article. You guys see how ridiculous this is. Let me zoom in. Let me zoom in here. How do I clear it? Let me close this part. AOC told the Independent that Republicans' chaotic efforts. You mean democracy? CJ just explained the second in line to the presidency. Or our capitalist society is so undemocratic that they view debates over issues, not allowing capitalists to be anointed very powerful positions. They view that as chaos. And they said it now shows and highlight how grounded and reasonable she and other members of the so-called squad of progressive Democrats have been. And then they continue throughout much of her time in Congress, the self-described Democratic Socialists. I love that they say that. Self-described, because that's all it is. It's literally just AOC saying she's a socialist. By no means is AOC a socialist. By no way is anybody in the squad a socialist. So I love they said it's a self-described Democratic Socialist. And by the way, when she was on MSNBC, when she was with Alex Wagner, she didn't describe herself as a socialist. She called herself a Democrat. I think that's pretty telling. Anyway, she said she heard herself and other progressives described as unreasonable. And you even have Stephanie Murray that called them the Never Enough Caucus. Based on them fighting for what? During negotiations about the bipartisan infrastructure bill and passing Build Back. So they pretend that the squad was the people who were fighting during Build Back Better, even though that's objectively not the case. That was Joe Manchin in the moderate wing of the party. And then the progressives were like, oh, hey, we have some recommendations. Can you please do this? Can you please do this for us? And then the Democrat Party said, no, we're not doing none of that shit. Fuck you, fall in line. And they did. But just them suggesting that we should do more or something different in this bill caused the neoliberals start to freak out, showing how anti-democratic the Democratic Party is, which is why we should just call them Democrats. Nothing democratic about this party. They hate debate on policy. They hate debate on who's going to be the second in line of president. And they continue, but against the background of repeated failed attempts by the Republicans to elect Kevin McCarthy as speaker in the face of a hard right GOP opposition, AOC pointed out that many of the debates she was involved with fellow Democrats were about actual policy. Like what? So now AOC is pretending like, yeah, we're not causing a ruckus. We're not being chaotic. We just provide policy disagreements. Like what? Like what? AOC, well, the squad, Ilhan Omar and the squad, just voted to fund DHS more. They voted to send weapons to Taiwan. The squad voted for the Iron Dome. They sent weapons to Ukraine. They voted for, like, where is this debate about policy that AOC claims that they have? They have none. AOC, you used to tweet about abolishing ICE. Joe Biden is funding ICE more than Donald Trump. No criticism. No open debate about it. She shuts up. So she's even lying here. Let's see what she says. She says, I think this just highlights how extraordinarily bad faith those accusations of progressive unreliableness are. So when the establishment thought the squad was a threat to them, AOC was like, oh my God, why do you guys think we're a threat? We're not a threat. Oh my God, these people think that we're a threat to the party. You guys are acting in bad faith. I think whether you're a Democrat, Republican, or independent, what this whole episode really indicates and shows us again just how bad faith and substantive some of the substanceless arguments and accusations that the progressive are just as bad as those insurrectionist Republicans. So what they're saying, they said these fight that you see with the Republican Party, you can't expect us to do that. She also continued to gaslight. She said that doesn't mean that progressives don't fight when they think it's necessary. And once again, I'm asking you guys this question. When have they given this fight? She said, it doesn't mean progressives don't fight when they think it is necessary. So apparently, you think it's necessary for Joe Biden to fund ICE and DHS more. Apparently, you think it's not a big deal for Joe Biden to fund the military-industrial complex, the prison-industrial complex, and fund the apartheid state of Israel, the genocidal state of Israel more. You guys see how they exposing their own priorities? You would think that 70,000 people, Americans, dying each year because they don't have health care. The fact that over half 500,000 would have been saved during the pandemic if we had single payer health care. You think that is when you will have a necessary fight, right? Not according to AOC. According to AOC, the fight for health care in the middle of a pandemic is not a necessary fight. And they're bragging about this. They going on corporate media. They talk to liberal establishment friends and say, oh my God, you see how we're not disrupting your geopolitical agenda, capitalist domination? When we make demands and pull the line on something, it is based on policy, on substance. And something that, frankly, usually every time has a path of possibility. Like what? Like what? We offer a plan B, and we look at the reality and push us yes. What plan B? They got no concessions for voting for Nancy Pelosi. No concession for falling in line on Biden's infrastructure bill. They have done nothing to put pressure to lead the Democratic Party to accept their positions. The best they do is write a letter. They'll write a letter like, hey, can we maybe do this thing here? Then the Democratic Party say, shut up. And then they're like, all right, I guess plan B. And then the plan B is falling behind the Democratic Party. Do you guys believe this? What she is saying here? I'm gonna read this part again. She says, when we make demands and pull the line on something, it is based on policy on substance and something that, frankly, usually every time has a path of possibility. We offer a plan B and look at the reality and push us, yes. Push as hard as we can, but we also have an understanding of what is best for the country. What is best for the country? Well, so what's best for the country is the Democratic Party taking COVID relief money and then giving it to the police like Joe Biden did? How is that best for the country? How is this escalating police state better for the country? This is nonsense here. So what she's essentially saying, what's up, Rome? I see you here. Is that Rome? Oh no. Maybe Rome here for a second. Yeah, there you
go. Yeah, that's me. Yeah, what's going on, man?
Yeah, what's popping? I can't really see you. That's why I had to pop the screen this way. I just now saw you. What's up? What's popping, Rome?
No, I had to get on this. I'm like, hold on, let me go.
Oh yeah, we got tons to talk about. We just getting started. Rome, I don't know if you've been watching, but this is the article on. I want to get your thoughts. This is AOC essentially saying, "Oh, we good little Democrats. Don't worry, establishment. We won't shake the boat. We won't rock the boat." This is the exact opposite of what AOC used to say. Rome, what's your take on this?
I think she's doing exactly what she was put in place for. Because man, I think that they really saw the powers that be and was like, yeah, fuck all that. I ain't fighting.
Nigga, I wanted that magazine photo shoot, bro. Yeah. I want to go to Met Gala. I ain't trying to fight. Lauren Boebert.
Remember Obama was first when he first came out. He was very popular. The next thing you know, they started taking him around Oprah, Jeffrey Epstein, and all these powerful people. And they was like, look, this can be your life. And now they got a little sip of that. They like, shit, I ain't going back to New York. Fuck that. Staying out here in DC. But I feel like these people are cowards, man. Overall, you know, they know the power that they have. They know what they could have done. They even spoke on it while they was running. They even spoke on it while some even spoke on it while they was in power. Ilhan Omar, to be exact, spoke on the things that a small what a minority can do in the house and whatnot. But yeah, these people are just cowards, man. They don't want to fight. They're there for the cameras. They're there for the you know what I'm saying, for the hand clappings and all these. Man, these people ain't serious, man. Everybody taking up for AOC. You worse than her.
They're malicious because they do this while taking working class money, Rome. Right?
They took our money
around helping people. So instead of people, so she is siphoning money that could go to your foundation, to mutual aid. So every time a working class person donates to AOC because they think she's fighting for her, that's money that should have been to mutual aid. Do you guys understand? Do you guys understand why it's so important to call these people out? We wasted hundreds of millions of dollars on the Bernie Sanders campaign. The role of RB is to make sure that shit never happens again. Can you imagine how much money going to our communities instead of going to these fucking grifter politicians?
And then these motherfuckers that's taking up for these politicians got some nerve, man. They got some nerve. Like, we didn't just sit here and watch 1 million people die in a year. Like, that's unheard of. You know, and it shouldn't be a thing in the 21st century. It really shouldn't. But to see 1 million people die and tell us, oh, get over it. You guys still fighting for healthcare? You guys still mad that because they ran on Medicare for all and didn't even talk about it once they got elected? You mad? Hell yeah, we mad. I lost 2 uncles, motherfucker. Yes, I'm mad. And I'm pretty sure other people have lost, and on and on. Lost livelihoods. Fuck yes, we mad. We could have saved lives.
I'm gonna show you
even if it would have failed. Do something. Do something. Don't just sit there like, well, these guys are mean, so I don't want to make them even more mean. Fuck them. Fuck them. Why is we sitting here holding hands with politicians? You don't want
to be obedient. They try and get us to be obedient, Rome.
Yeah.
They don't want us to ask any questions of power. They don't want us to do any tactics that is outside the code of conduct where you get progressive change from. So I'm gonna just read this last part. I'm gonna show you guys the concessions that the Republican Party got from McCarthy, which show the progressive left could have did the exact same thing. But look at what she's saying here. AOC is worried about the fact that this could make it harder to govern. The more days that this goes on, the more this truly starts to have a corrosive impact on our country. So, Rome, what doesn't have a corrosive impact on our country is not the police that Joe Biden is funding to record amounts.
It's not ICE.
ICE funding is not a corrosive impact to our country. A rise in homelessness is not a corrosive impact on our country. It's about the institutions. And then she quotes, she's like, what about the IRS? Immigration services. That's why we should allow an unhinged, warmonger, corrupt piece of shit to be a House Speaker. And that's why we shouldn't disrupt procedures, because the IRS. This is unbelievable. So this article, this whole thing, I'm not gonna I cut off there, is her essentially saying that I love the institutions too. And this is why you got people like Jennifer Rubin who loves her. Because the right, and I can't wait to get your take on this. Now, this is the main story I wanted to cover. The unbelievable concessions that the Republicans got by pressuring Kevin McCarthy. Now, remember, these people are already rich. They come from rich families. Mm-hmm. The only thing they are looking for when they become politicians, and they want status. That's the most important thing, Rome. Like when they're at their wine parties, they can say, you know, I got the gavel. I'm the Speaker of the House. That's all they fight. They're all rich. They're not fighting for a new car. They all got big houses. They fight for status. Yeah. So Kevin McCarthy being denied speakership over and over again, that's embarrassing for his class. You guys gotta understand that. Imagine if 2 years ago, Speaker Pelosi has been denied over and over again. You know how embarrassing that would be for her? Mm-hmm. This is embarrassing for Kevin McCarthy.
People talking about she was in the cave. Bullshit.
Hell no, she was in the cave.
You know how much money is on the line, and we know that she's doing insider trading. So with that knowledge, use it against her. You want to pass, you so uppity about this bill, you never want to pass anything. Okay, well, let's look at it. Oh, there's the money for the corporations that you got stocks in. Okay, so this is what we're going to do. We ain't going to vote on that until you vote on it. We ain't going to vote for you until you vote on this, until you vote for that. It could have been for anything, man. We already talked about this. Force to vote could have been for anything. Medicare for all. You know, we could have did something about homelessness, whatever. It could have been anything. These bills are already written up. We could have had the Green Deal, whatever you wanted.
We could have added stuff as we got more pressure. Like that's what the Republicans doing now. So we could ask for a floor vote for Medicare for all. Then we could add things. Oh, you really want that speaker? It looks like you really want that speaker. It's really embarrassing, isn't it, for you, Pelosi? Right? Let's add $15 minimum wage to that. Let's add decriminalizing marijuana to that list. Let's add reducing the military budget to that list. You guys want to see what makes the progressive left an absolute joke? These are the progressives. These are the concessions that they got. Here, let me pull this up. You had, and this will be a game changer on the progressive left. Concessions to conservatives. Kevin McCarthy PAC to stop spending money on safe primary elections. This is so the skew that incompetent progressives made. Like the incompetent progressive movement had lost countless elections. In 2022, they got wiped the fuck out. Everyone did. It was so bad. They were celebrating John Fetterman. You gotta realize John Fetterman is like the only win they got, and Maxwell Frost. Yeah. And he's a Zionist sellout. John Fetterman is a Zionist sellout who offered Ukraine funding. So they had to celebrate trash candidates because all the real candidates lost. Nina Turner got obliterated. And what did they say, Rome? They say, oh, it's not because we are incompetent. The reason why we are losing our races is because it's dark money. Do you remember that? Oh, we can't. The Democrats, they keep spending dark money. They keep spending all this money the last week of the race, and there's nothing we can do to stop it. This is the number one obstacle to your guys' strategy, not ours, Rome, because we don't give a fuck about taking over the Democrat Party. But their strategy is to take the Democratic Party over with progressives, which they cannot do. And that is a failure of a strategy because the Democrats learned how to defeat that strategy by flooding the market with dark money the week of the election. This is how Nina Turner lost embarrassingly twice in a row. Now Bernie Sanders lost on Super Tuesday, and they've been running the same strategy down the line. Hakeem Jeffries and the DNC went full-fledged, all-out war against the progressives the last midterms, and they got slaughtered as a result. So this strategy that they have of taking over the Democratic Party is dead in the water. But what the Republicans did, they make it so that the super PAC can no longer spend money, and Kevin McCarthy can't spend money on primaries in safe Republican districts. So essentially what happened to in the Chantel Brown, Nina Turner race, that was a safe blue district. So if the squad got this, that means you wouldn't have the Democratic Party sending dark money to Chantel Brown and other challengers. Once again, we don't care about
Nick. I was muted, but what I was going to chime in and say is that imagine can you put that back up there?
I don't know where you got
imagine. I mean, just look at the different visual. I want you to be able to see this. So look at the difference between the Democrats and the Republicans. What was the headline we covered? Democrats up for dark money. They could vote it out of their own primaries. Yep. They said, fuck that shit.
Yep.
And now look at the Republicans.
So they are less into dark money than the Democratic Party is apparently now. How sad is that to say?
Meanwhile, you got David Sirota and Marianne Williamson talking about let's vote some more progressives in.
They guys, they're still gonna push that strategy. That they are grifters because we already seen the last two elections. The Democratic Party adjusted to the strategy. My theory, what I truly believe, I think, and tell me if you guys agree with this or not. I believe the Democratic Party started to believe their own bullshit, right? So, like, you know how they used to say that, oh, you can't win an election if you're too far left, right? I think a part of them really started to believe that. So when AOC and them first hit the scene, they was unprepared. They did not expect Joe Crowley to lose AOC. They didn't expect Ilhan to win. They didn't expect Pramila Jayapal. They did not expect that, right? So then after that, and then you had Jamal Bowman come in and Cori Bush, they adjusted and they got this strategy where they're gonna wait till the last 2 weeks and they're gonna flood the market with dark money at that point, and they cannot stop that strategy. The Democratic establishment created this new strategy that the progressives have no answer for. But
Hakeem Jeffries will be deploying that, and they are now voting for him.
I was just about to say that. Like, he's gonna be he want to be speaker. They want him in power. Like, dude, I just said this shit. Like, how would I look? You know what I'm saying? Just joining some dude who put millions of dollars against me, millions of dollars against everything I stand for, and we just slapping hands like everything is cool, like everything is fine. That shit. No. He's going to close that door on a progressive. He's going to close that door. He's going to lock it. He's going to bolt it. He's going to put up boards, metal plates, all that shit. No more progressives. It don't matter how you run, where you run, locally, whatever. They got the money. Like Nick said, they adjusted, and all this shit is over. All this shit is over. So what you got now, that's what you have. And this is the best. If the squad, if that's the best, funding Israel, funding ICE, funding Nazis, that's the best that y'all got. Haven't did anything that they ran on. That's the best y'all got. That's it.
Look at this comment. What do you think of this, Ron? It's a hustle. These people hustle the left because the left still, I don't know if you read this already, but the left still believes the government can be saved. The right doesn't believe that. The right politicians are holding their people back.
It depends what you mean by left. I'll pass to you on what you mean on, but it depends what you mean on left. Because the institutionalist left, they want to be part of the government so they can get power. That way and I agree with that part. But what we want to run this motherfucker. We want this means of production. There's a difference. They want to be a cog in the machine. We want to control the machine. But anyway, go ahead, Ron, if you want.
Yeah. I think it is a hustle. A lot of these people do hustle the left because the left. I'm gonna keep it real. The majority of the country is left. It's to the left of all these politicians, all of this shit. They might not even know it, but once you speak some key words or whatever, people be like, "Oh shit, this what makes me a progressive. This what makes me a leftist. This what makes me a liberal." Okay, well that makes sense.
Look at Missouri, Rome. Look at Missouri. Missouri, full rednecks here, red as hell. We keep passing progressive ballot initiatives. You guys know, last election we passed not only legalized marijuana, we passed a ballot initiative that will provide more public housing, affordable public housing, low income affordable housing. We passed that by ballot initiative in Missouri. So people got all these stupid social cultural wars that they fight, but for the most part, the American people are economically left, whether they know it or not. Whether they
need the left. They need what we are talking about. You know what I'm saying? Whether they are against it or not against it, whatever the fuck they say, or we shouldn't have socialism, communism, whatever. They know they need that shit. They need to own, you know what I'm saying, the means of production where they work at to make sure that not only you are a worker, you are an owner, you are a part of this company. They need housing, you know what I'm saying, like forever. You know, you need clean water. You need a strong, you know what I'm saying? Like this bullshit that they selling, this is like somebody said in the comments, hope hustlers. This ain't nothing but an Obama grip with another face on it. Hope and change. You know, it's still the same bullshit.
So despite the fact that the progressives can't beat dark money, they're not gonna stop Marianne Williamson from doing the what was it? Burn down the house, break down the house live stream where she asked people to donate to progressive. It's literally the biggest grip I ever seen. But then they got the nerve to call people who advocate outside the two-party duopoly, they call us grifters, even though they want working class people to donate to the rich politicians and media consultants, right? So here's Armin. Big shout out to Armin for highlighting this. So this last concession, and this is the list of McCarthy concessions, and you can see at the bottom here, it said McCarthy-aligned super PAC pledged not to spend money on primary races against GOP candidates in open races. And they also can force a vote ousting a speaker. And there has been a coordinated effort, I know you know this, CJ, where the anti-force to vote people, where the establishment is pretending that the right is doing it for no reason. That they, oh my God, they don't have no ads, they're not serious. Man,
that's a hell of a.
That is not true. That is not true. They got ads that we disagree with because they are fiscally conservative, right? Mm-hmm. But then you have ads like that would benefit any movement, like the ability to force a vote on the speaker. Like imagine if Nancy Pelosi and the Democratic Party started funding war more, and as they did, they funded ICE and DHS more. And the squad was like, "You funded ICE more, we about to call you Speaker Pelosi." That's a harsh body. That would stop them from doing so much corrupt shit. That number one, and then the one at bottom is huge. Because that would help. That would make it so they had to keep their promises. When Kevin McCarthy ever abandons his promises, that means they can call him up to a speaker election.
Exactly.
That's giant. Imagine the left with this power, where we can recall these motherfuckers who lied to us. But Rome, I know you want to talk.
No, I'm just saying this is a hell of a W. Even if I don't agree with all this, you know what I'm saying, with all their tactics and whatnot, or they rhetoric, this is a hell of a W, especially on being able to vote out power that's above you. Like that's unheard of in America, you know, and it's a hell of a W. All these people who basically led us off a cliff, you know, I'm putting these debts on all you motherfuckers, man. I'm putting all the shit, everybody that get jailed from now on. You know what I'm saying? If you want to be in politics, you know, pay attention to what's going on, but don't hold hands with politicians. Don't be holding their hands. Don't be nice to them. You know what I'm saying? Make them do their damn job. The right is making us look like we're just sitting on our hands.
Now,
this makes no fucking sense. And y'all supposed to be the rebels. Y'all supposed to be the revolutionaries, the fucking socialists. Ain't get shit done for your people. How many years AOC been in office now?
Well, this is like her fifth year,
third or fourth year or something.
So
18, wasn't it?
Another year, she gonna have Medicare for the rest of her. She's gonna have healthcare for the rest of her life. Let's see.
Paid by us.
And the next year, do you think the people in New York gonna have healthcare? You see what the Democrats did in California. What the fuck they gonna do in New York? You think they're gonna do the same? Right. Bullshit. Stop holding these politicians' hands, y'all. We got to go for it. Because look, these niggas just made us take a fat ass L, bro. And they, I mean, those two are big though. Those two that
and we didn't even get to the biggest part, in my opinion, because these are things that will be good strategies for everybody. Now, I don't want to spoil it. Let me read this tweet. I'm gonna get to what I think is the biggest one, because the one they got recently showed the power of this strategy. But let me read this tweet because he's the one who I saw first tweet this out. So this last concession will be the equivalent of progressives demanding that Dem APAC, DFI, and Super PACs don't spend money to annihilate them in their primaries, which would have helped people like Nina Turner. But progressives are making fun of Republicans for getting this? Like, this is what the TYT left is doing. The boutique left, the NATO left. They're all like, oh my God, you guys really think this tactic will work? The right is getting nothing.
It'd be like when we was in school in the hood and you're making fun of people with the new Jordans on. you got those new, look at him with those new Jordans on. Look at that. Look at him. Get the fuck out of here. Like, this is such a hard, doubtful, dubious sale that they're trying to make here. And just think about this.
They're desperate.
They're on board with the narrative that corporate media is spilling out. Yes. What left is down with any corporate media narrative. Just think about it. They're going completely with the corporate media narrative. We saw the interview Alex Wagner did with AOC, which she said, why don't we go in there and get Hakeem Jeffries voted in? The correct answer should have been, what do you mean Hakeem Jeffries is the same as them?
Right.
She just went along with it with a word salad. Go ahead, Nick, bro.
Yeah, they could have did the same shit with him. You want to be speaker? I need some things. I need a couple of things. Like this shit is pitiful, man. It's pitiful, and it should show anybody. And if you still support these people after all this shit, like, it's bad enough that you support them after what happened with the railroads, with the railroad strike workers. That's bad enough. But after this, after seeing 1 million plus people die, and them barely even mention universal health care, Medicare for all under Twitter, let alone any speeches on a House floor. This should, I don't know, bro. If y'all doing this, y'all want to support them people, you are our enemy, bro. Like, I don't give a fuck if you working class, if you poor, whatever. If you support them, you are our enemy. I
don't know if this person, Rome, is saying to us, Jesus freaking Christ, it's been 4 years it's only been 4 years, or Jesus freaking Christ, it's been 4 years and you ain't did shit. Like, I don't know how to take it, so maybe we can take it, but I see it as it's been too long.
Like, Jesus, fuck. It's almost unbelievable it's been that long. It's been that long, right? But yeah, that's how.
But like all the failures, like, wow, it's only been 4 years and you failed 400 times already. That's how I would read. That's how I would.
She couldn't even get people in her district. She couldn't even fight for Medicare for all for the people in her district. She told the migrants in her district not to come. Like, what is her accomplishments? I have put up a list of their failures. You know,
yeah, I'll pull that up. I retweeted it.
And the motherfucker like, oh, list their good stuff. What can outweigh? What good in the world can outweigh you funding ICE, funding Israel? Well, how much good? What good can outweigh that? There is nothing else that you can do when you giving money to the police, COVID money relief to the police. There is no, what the hell is you talking about?
Well,
talking about the good stuff. Ain't no good stuff, motherfucker. Even if it is good stuff, like DSA and DSA national, DSA local. It doesn't matter what y'all do locally because nationally y'all suck.
Yeah, let me I'm gonna show you guys.
All protest is a stunt or performative. That's the whole point. If it wasn't a performative or stunt, you would just walk in. Like, January 6th is not a stunt or performative. Yeah. If you walk in and say, "Give me your shit," that's not a stunt. But if you outside with picket signs, by the very nature of protesting, is to be a stunt to set something off. That is the whole nature of it.
All politics is performative. It's about what your action lead to. The bus sit-ins and the civil rights movement is a performative action. All politics are inherently performative. The difference is the squad and AOC, they do performative actions in order to protect and run interference for the Democratic Party. You guys see the difference? We advocate for performative actions to benefit the working class, like all revolutions do, as all social movements do. What our politicians do, they do performative shit so the party looks good. AOC is doing performative shit, not for us. She's doing performative shit so they can trick us.
That is such a good point.
Like you know what's performative, Nick? You know what's performative? Sleeping outside. Sleeping outside when you know you got two houses in two different states.
This comment right here, it says
for people,
go ahead.
And going to go demand anything from Biden after you already took away the strikers, the workers' strike rights. Like that shit is performative, that shit is performative. What we were trying to do, our performance would have led into something. Their performance is just that political theater. We actually need things. We actually have demands. You understand? So if
I'm not looking. Sorry, I keep talking over you.
If we would have did January 6th, some performative ass shit, it would have been a hell of a difference because the left actually has demands. I would have held a politician hostage on some real shit. Like we have real demands. That's the difference in between theirs and ours. But go ahead. I know you're gonna clap for AOC when she go ahead and what she gonna dance this time? What she gonna sing this time? What she gonna do? She gonna wear a dress this time? You will clap for that, but you ain't gonna clap for the proletarian. Get the fuck out of here.
I got something else I want to show real quick though. Just on this story before we get too off. I'm gonna show
Let me just read that comment. Let me read the
comment.
Yeah, it's because it says ignore you Norker CJ. Yes, so because the reason I wanted to address this is because we have this all the time, but we're intellectually secure and feel like we can rip apart anybody. That's why we throw these unserious things up, so we can make the point. We're not the type that are fearful of these clowns that are in our thing, and they think they can't throw us off. You really can't throw us off. You can throw anything. You can't throw us off. When you're intellectually secure in what you believe, nobody can throw you off truth and belief. You get what I'm saying? So go ahead.
I saw that guy praising Sam Cedar.
Yeah, we can recognize unserious people.
I saw him praise Sam Cedar. During when we did our segment, they're like, "Oh, that explains everything." So I'm like, "Oh, shit, this is what." Now you guys see what Sam Cedar fans think. Like, I mean, ever since I saw that one comment, we were like, "Yeah, you got shown Sam Cedar. Now he's gonna get you." I'm like, "This dude is fucking wild." Bro. So I'm like, it's good. It's good for you guys to see us debunk that. But let me get. I got this other stuff real quick because I got go in like 30 minutes. So let me. I'm gonna show you guys the other giant concession 1 hour in. I'm gonna get to the one that I find the most amusing, which is Giant. Now, I saw this come out today. The emerging deal Kevin McCarthy is discussing to make him House Speaker will propose a roughly $75 billion cut in defense spending. So the anti-force to vote left is gonna be like, oh my God, they're not getting anything. This is as substantive as it gets. That you have these right-wing rebels who are outflanking the squad on the left on this one particular issue.
Bro, they shifting powers, man. They are shifting powers in front of our faces. They shift
in front of our faces, Rome. They are realigning in front of our faces, realigning all political sort of groups. They are realigning. You're telling me the squad is voting for $45 billion on top of what's asked, and the other side is cutting it by $75 billion, and we're not understanding. We're seeing a complete realignment. This is insane that this is happening, and they're out there, Nick and Rome, acting like this is bad, Nick.
Yes,
this is insane. Go ahead. I know you.
It's only bad because it's bad. It's bad because you know who they talking about, right? Who they taking that money from, right? Our Nazis in Ukraine. How we so Russia? How we supposed to have like, man, get the fuck out of here. Somebody had asked me.
They can't buy enough blue and yellow flags, bro. Yeah. They can't buy enough. They need some more money to buy some more.
Do I think people in Ukraine, the armies and militaries in Ukraine are fascists. I said if they wasn't, we wouldn't be funding them. When have we ever funded rebels for liberation? We got Taliban, ISIS, sit. What the fuck? When have we ever funded anything good? If they wasn't racist, if they wasn't Nazis, they would not be getting billions of dollars. They have gotten more money from the government than any black community in this motherfucker.
Look at what they say here. Look on this story here. The emerging deal Kevin McCarthy is discussing to make him Speaker of the House will propose a $75 billion cut in defense spending at a time when the U.S. is intent on backing Ukraine against the Russian invasion and grows more weary of China's stepped-up aggression towards Taiwan. What stepped up aggression? They literally have done nothing. Despite you guys sending weapons to Taiwan, Nancy Pelosi went to Taiwan, and they still didn't. You guys want to know what China's response was? It was actually pretty fucking weak. It was actually kind of funny. Yeah. Like Nancy Pelosi went to Taiwan, and then China puffed their chest for a few weeks. It was, oh my God, I swear to God, we gotta fuck shit up if you guys do this. Then they did it. It was, oh my God, the United States is fucking crazy. So, like always, the United States called China bluff. Like they call Russia bluff, like they call Iran bluff. They call people bluff because they are fucking psychopaths. Yep. So China, despite the fact the United States directly violated their sovereignty, just did military drills. No, seriously, that's it. They did a few military drills like, I showed them. Mm-hmm. Like, nigga, that's weak, but they have to be weak because they were trying to protect the global working class. But every single Western story paints it as China is being aggressive.
But Taiwan already, what was this? A story came out a couple of weeks ago. They was in favor of China. They was like, I don't know what the fuck the big deal is that the West is talking about. Like, there is no beef. Y'all making up shit because y'all want to invade China. That's it. Y'all want to get a step closer to China. You're already next door to Russia. You're trying to get next door to China. You want to overthrow Russia. Let's stop acting like this is about protecting Ukrainians. It isn't.
Not at all.
Because if it was, then they would have just signed a fucking peace deal, a peace pact. You know what I'm saying? Some type of agreement, like the Must agreement, which America violated.
Look at this part. Unbelievable. Shares of defense contractors declined on the news. Lockheed Martin, Northrop, their stocks fell because of the actions of the people on the right. Meanwhile, their profits increased to record amount because of the votes of the squad. Can you guys dissect that? Let's sit on that for a second. Bernie Sanders and the squad, because of their votes, is responsible for the military-industrial complex boom and increased profit for Lockheed. The right is just responsible for the decline in their stocks. Just me saying that blows me away. Oh, unbelievable.
Oh shit! We letting them people. we cannot let them shift these. You know what? Let them shift the parties of the power. Let them shift the rhetoric and everything. This is what happens in a two-party system. This is what happens when you don't have another party to call out bullshit like this. So all you guys that wasted all your life, 50, 40, 30 years voting, saying third party won't work because there isn't enough people, it's your fault. No, I'm playing. But
literally, I do see this as a moment in time, that is not like any other.
Yeah.
From going from the pandemic, going to the millions of people laid off, going to the Great Resignation, where almost 5 million people are quitting every month, to people not wanting to go back and have remote work, to the strike breaking, to them voting for funding for Ukraine, to Bernie Sanders doing what he's doing to ship her. This is literally just a flipping of reality, and boutique media hasn't caught up, or they're part of that flipping of reality. And I'm thinking it's about half and half. Like Sam Cedar is part of the flipping of reality.
Oh yeah.
But then there might be some gullible ones that just are behind in the times. And I get a feel from like Kyle may just be behind in understanding. Like in 2 years, he'll be where we're at today. I'm just giving some of these people the benefit of the doubt because this is a flipping of the reality that everybody has known up until like 2019. Now it's just completely different. Go ahead, Nick.
And to your point, CJ, and if you look at Kyle Kulinski, David Dolan, people, their analysis of politics is still like it's 2016.
Right.
Despite this massive change that we see.
They're followers, because there's certain people in media that are followers as far as let's see what everybody else does, then I'm going to do. And you can tell that's David Dole spot on. We saw that in that live stream with Lamont. He couldn't even, leftist mafia. He couldn't even articulate other than to say a labor reporter told me, and that's what I'm going to go with. He couldn't even articulate his own opinion about the strike breaking and AOC and whether it was a bullshit. It's some labor reporter said it, so I'm going with that. And that's the high level analysis that the boutique left and the left has been delivering up until RBN, up until FHL now RBN.
Yeah,
so.
That's on point. They repeat every single lazy Democratic Party talking point. That's why whenever you show me these videos, I do oppo research on corporate news so I can debunk propaganda. It's unbelievable. Like when CJ, you show me a Sam Cedar clip on this show, I'm like, yo, I just watched the MSNBC clip where they said the same thing. They are so lazy. They just go whatever the wind blows. Meanwhile, RBN, we are here to lead. We've been right on so many things, and that's why we continue to grow because we keep being vindicated, right? Let me read this part, and I'm gonna show you guys some more reactions to the story. And it says Kevin McCarthy's idea won't sit well with most GOP defense hawks on the armed service and appropriation panels. If only the progressives were the ones making them upset, right? But they continue, who for years pushed for major increases in national security. Those lawmakers, such as Michael McCall, Mike Gallagher, have so far backed McCarthy. It will also need to get signed off from Democrats in the Senate. If this report, look at this is the part I want to read because it's so absurd. This is what they really believe. If report of this deal are accurate, it doesn't reflect the will of the party or the will of Americans and imperils our national security. CJ, Rome, chat, literally everyone. How many people you know in your real life is like, God damn it, if only we can spend more on our national defense. Meanwhile, the neocons are pretending that cutting the military budget is stuff that Americans don't want.
That's un-American. That's un-Americans. Nick, we need to go over there and blow the motherfuckers away.
They're one of the few bipartisan things we all agree on is ending the war. Left, right, we all like, let's end the military budget. Meanwhile, they're pretending that doing this is anti-democratic to the Americans, and they pretend that it imperils our national security. And this is why I like to bring up what they say, because you now see how ridiculous it is. Do you guys really believe, let me scroll back up. Do you guys believe that China stepped up aggression against Taiwan is a matter of national security? Is that affecting your hood? No. Like, even if we took what they said at face value, how is that affecting your hood?
It's not.
But Ron, I know you want to chime in. I'll try to you guys real quick.
What? How? I mean, like, what defense? They're talking about a defense budget. Ain't no fucking defense. We are under offense. What? It's a line from a song called Acapella from Royce the 5'9". He said, this how I look at America. He said, y'all niggas look tense in this bitch. You carry your gun for self-defense. I play offense with this bitch. And that's what America, 800 military bases, though. We are under offense. Yeah. Nobody, like, I get it. If we did, you know what I'm saying, start to disable certain parts of the military, yes, there is a big chance of another country wanting to invade, wanting to attack the United States. Why the fuck not? Why the fuck not? Wouldn't you want to? If you was a child growing up in Afghanistan, you 20 years old now, I would be a fucking terrorist. I would be fucking coming up with ways to blow this bitch up, right? So we got to make it right with the people on the outside. Not only do we got to fight the people on the inside, but we got to make sure that the people on the outside know that there's a new power coming too, and we got rid of these people. But yeah,
I'm gonna show you guys. Go ahead, Nick. I'm gonna show you guys some quick reactions to that story. I saw a few good ones before I got live because this is new information we were getting. This is Aaron Mate in response to Kevin McCarthy floating the idea of cutting the military budget, and Aaron says, "Wow, this will almost offset the more than 100 billion that the progressives approved for the Ukraine war." I saw this too, like, God damn, that's a devastating point. So you have progressives that agreed to send $100 billion to Ukraine, and then members on the right offset that.
That's pitiful, man. I don't even know. I'm finally lost for words. I've never been lost.
Like this, I can't. I don't know what to say. Like,
And they still try to believe like it's GOP chaos. Like they shouldn't have done. They still trying to sell people on that, and no one's buying it. We'll cover that later, but nobody's buying this story they're trying to go. But go ahead, Nick.
75 billion, dog. That's fucking crazy.
And so Aaron says, so progressives are seeing not only the use of leverage, but now also curbing military spending to the GOP far right. What a great tweet by Aaron. Let's see. I didn't see this other one. Let's see what this. There's another guy who reported on this. Say, could the GOP revolt actually end endless war? This thread show how key anti-McCarthy GOP members often join left-wing Dems to oppose war. So why? So the people who are going against McCarthy, it's not like a one-time thing for them. What the fuck? Like this. So the Republican Party had an actual small number of anti-war electeds that wanted to be hated by the Washington establishment. They wanted to give up their cozy position in the club to stop war. That is literally what we wanted out of the progressives.
I know.
Oh my
Nick,
God.
now this is a good moment to bring this point up that Shama and several people have brought up. This is how
that's crazy.
This is how you grow fascism in the GOP. This is how you create a demagogue, a right populist demagogue. Yep. This is the very thing we're doing as a country, is creating the opening for a DeSantis or a right populist that's even worse than him, that's way more charismatic, to come in and destroy this even worse.
Because this is some of the shit that Trump
we're opening here. Go ahead, Roman.
This is some of the shit that Trump actually ran on, and this is why it's going to work on this party. It's going to work with the Republicans because Republicans overall, they don't want war. You know what I'm saying? They are American first, right? Et cetera, et cetera. I don't see them. I actually see them growing in their base. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I was just about to think too, Rome, is that they're going to just grow. They're just going to get more black males. They're going to get more other males that move towards the Republican Party. More workers are going to move towards the Republican Party. That's what I see happening.
Non-voting black men will shift towards the will shift towards the Republican Party because we already have a relationship with the Democratic Party, and if we see them, delivering things like this, being able to vote out war, being able to cut the military budget, keep money in our neighborhoods, keep jobs in our neighborhoods, black people probably gonna run to the Republican Party. I'm pretty sure.
This is unbelievable. This is Jimmy. He said, "Holy shit! The right wing of the Republican Party is further left on war than AOC and the entire Democratic Party. The Fraud Squad and Bernie Sanders are 100% war pigs. This is what the squad." Anyone else hear that in Jimmy's voice? This is what the squad was supposed to be doing 2 years ago, but instead they lied about healthcare activists. So you see, Jimmy, he got fucking caps on. Like, this is news that is blowing the minds of all the anti-imperialists on Twitter. Now, this is the last tweet, and I'll pass to you, CJ. I know you got a few things you want to cover, but I want to show this tweet from Glenn because this is the argument that we were making on our stream yesterday. CJ, remember? This is Glenn's tweet, and I want to give you guys.
Oh yeah, I saw that earlier. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, can someone tell me why it's so horrifying and devastating for Congress to take a few days to debate and negotiate over who's going to be third in line to the presidency in Royal House? Aren't debates of this kind called democracy as rare as it is now for Congress to do that? The 1.7 billion omnibus bill Congress just passed was 4,000 pages. Nobody who voted read it all. This is how it works. Leaders put together huge bills and other members vote yes. This is a fundamentally broken and anti-democratic system. That's exactly what we were saying yesterday, right, CJ? So I'll pass to you guys, and then we can wrap the segment after you guys.
Yeah, I just want to show a couple of things. First, give me 45 seconds to do.
Yeah, Rome, you have anything you want to
announcement?
Why CJ pulled that up?
Yeah.
Any last thoughts on what I shared? Anything else on that?
No, man, I'm just, I don't know, man. My brain is just like, I don't know. I'm not even fucking, I wasn't prepared for what they were actually going to get. Like
I didn't think they was gonna get this much.
I thought it was going to be like, more money to the military, more money to the police. You know what I'm saying? Anti-woke fucking bill or whatever the fuck. I thought it was going to be some fuck shit.
CJ, remember yesterday? CJ, remember yesterday when they had the vague stories that Kevin McCarthy gave them concessions? Even if you look at my cover yesterday, I was like, yeah, there's not going to be anything that's significant, but it shows that the strategy worked. I wasn't talking about the ask. I am shocked that they got what they got just now. The ending super PAC spending, the ability to force a vote on the speaker, and reducing the military budget. Nigga, this is a dream for the left. Just those three things alone. And just like you, Rome, I'm shocked. I did not expect this to lead to anything at all. Just these three alone is a positive. And these three alone, let alone what the left will really ask for, this is enough to advocate for this shit every single fucking 2 years. And I'm not joking. Like, when the next time the Democrat Party take the House, this is shit that everyone should advocate for. Like, anyway, sorry, go ahead, CJ.
I'm gonna fly through this real fast. So here is the website. Make sure you check out our website. We just not officially launched it, but it's a kind of a soft launch. There's still a couple of the web designers actually here right now. They're still working on it and adding some pictures. But make sure you check out our website. That is it there. We also have a new email. So the Google email, you can discontinue using that. This is our email now, info@revblack.com, revblacknetwork.com for those that are listening. So that's our email, email us. And this is our website address. You can check it out. You see pictures. That's Rome and Nick right there when he was out in KC. Who we are as Rome cutting homeless, unhoused people. That's one of the benches there. Our emails are down here, info@revblacknetwork.com, and also outreach@revblacknetwork.com. Make sure you check that out. We got member section where you can check out all of our bios here. Summits, you can also check those out, and a lot of other different information. So also like the stream. We're at 420 likes, and we had 420 people watching, and we only have 246 likes. So can we push that by 150? Let's do 150 more likes. Add it onto there. That'll bring us to 400. So please like the stream. Let's get to 400. Now, let's get to the next story. And it's a short story because we covered the video. So we're not going to be covering the AOC video again. What we're going to be covering is the response. Yeah, go ahead. What we're going to be covering is the response to the video in the chat. So let's play the video and then we'll read some of the comments here,
shall we say, on the internet and elsewhere, that you were on the floor having some conversations with Republicans, including Matt Gaetz and Paul Gosar. Can you enlighten us at all as to what those conversations were like? And is there any hope that you guys work together to get Hakeem Jeffries elected as Speaker of the House?
I think in chaos, anything is possible, especially in this era. It is unlikely, but there's always a possibility. I do think that in terms of some of those conversations, listen, some of us in the House of Representatives are independent in certain ways from our party. And I do believe that in some of those conversations, there are things that are happening on the floor. These machinations are happening on the floor. And sometimes the leadership of your party, in this case, the Republican Party, will be making claims in order to try to twist arms and get people in line. And a lot of times, information and truth is currency. So sometimes to be able to fact check some of the claims that McCarthy is making, whether Democrats are going to defect or not, et cetera, is important in order to keep him honest and to keep people honest in general. And so, I think what was important today was to send the message that we were united behind Hakeem Jeffries as the now minority leader or as leader of the Democrats, and that there would be no defections, that Democrats are here, we're not going anywhere. And if they want to play ball, we're open to that.
That's going to make a lot of people, I think, on one side of the aisle very happy, and a lot of people on the other side of the aisle very concerned.
Yeah, so that's the video that we saw. And literally, Nick, I think I found 2 positive comments. 2.
Dude, I'm at
There's
like
several
1K.
hundred.
Yeah, I didn't even.
There's
I'm at
several
like 1K.
hundred. Yeah,
Yeah.
look at where you at. Let me blow it up so people can see it a little bit better. You've already you about to hit 1,100, and this is not even a quote tweet. This is just in the comments.
Yeah, I didn't even see that tweet. I was like, whoa, how many likes I got on that shit? Like sometimes I tweet shit, I never see it again. Damn. But that shows how just like AOC is now. Like, and the thing is, you don't even get pushback anymore when you criticize AOC. Like, I still remember this clearly to this day, and I'm sure Ron will say the same thing. After Bernie dropped out, and we started being really critical of Bernie, AOC, and the squad, even if we got a decent amount of likes, there will always be a ton of pushback.
Yeah,
and that's why that's how we develop our fighting nature. All right, motherfucker, I'm ready to fight you. I'm right here. Now you can talk about how they are frauds. Now you get no pushback, which shows that approval rating number. AOC has no base. Whenever I see people apologize for AOC, and you guys do the trick too. Click on the profile, it's always like a bot. Like they're the only people they got left. Like, bro, I'm not joking. Every time I'm seeing some fucking bot or some DSA bot account, they always defend AOC's no profile picture, like 99 followers. Not no shout out to people, not planned, but it's like an obvious bot account. Like real people is seeing through this. The only people that are left on the ship are the people with no dignity. But go ahead, CJ.
Yeah, let's just read a couple of the quote tweets, and this is all we're going to be doing this segment. The ratio in the comments section is very anti AOC, and this person is pointing it out. And let's go ahead. On their own tweet.
Like, it wasn't like Jimmy Dore or RBN tweeted video, because usually that will happen. Like if you tweet this video on the RBN account, yeah, a lot of people.
Oh yeah.
This is on AOC's account, so the people who follow AOC, the people who will be friends or fans, even they're not defending her.
They're not buying it at all. This one says, I'm honestly not sure I need to add any commentary on this clip. AOC did a good enough job exposing the bankruptcy of her own politics. We need a workers' party. This one, say goodbye to the bringing the ruckus BS. This one, I had hope when she was elected, and now I can't stand it when she talks. I feel so much disappointment.
Now do you guys
marketing.
Just real quick,
Go ahead.
Just real quick. I'll back to you, CJ. Now do you guys see why Ryan Graham, Anna Kasparian, and David Doney and the people like the Smurfs, these people are working overtime to defend the squad because they got the message like, man, y'all not doing a good enough job. You're not convincing enough people. So they are desperately trying to defend the squad now because they see this shift. And anyone who be on Twitter who've been critical of Bernie and AOC, the shift is palpable. I don't get any pushback anymore. Like when criticizing them, everyone sees through it. There even be people who are not even like squad defenders who are like, man, Nick, is that a good idea to be calling out AOC and Bernie out all? Even people who don't even like. But now that shit doesn't exist now, CJ. But go ahead, I'll pass it back to you.
No, that's true. And now look at this comment. Now I don't know this person too well, but I know the way you described him, Nick, one time, and maybe you did too, Rome, was that he was kind of a liberal. This guy,
he's a
politics guy.
Yeah, he one of the many people who unfollowed me because I started criticizing these people.
But listen to what he says then. Let's see if he's turned yet. Why is it a good thing for Dems whose entire purpose was to fight corporate Dems to simply fall in line with them? Hakeem Jeffries literally despises progressive. So even, Nick, people who unfollowed you because you were criticizing them and going at the throat, he's even saying like, yeah, AOC, this ain't flying. Go ahead.
And there are also a lot of people because he got big Jimmy Dore derangement syndrome. There are a lot of people who started following me because they saw me on Jimmy Dore's show. He was one of them. But yeah, you can't, if you want to show that you have any sort of anti-establishment bona fides on Twitter, you can't be apologizing for the squad anymore. That shit's dead. And I'm glad. I think RBN, we played a big job because we got much more Twitter influence than we do on most social media. We played a big part on killing this shit. Because me, Rome, CJ, we was on the front line taking heat from all the progressives, calling these fucking people out. But I was like, nah, nigga, I'm right. When I'm right, I'm
what was the line they kept using? Well, they helped in some. They're doing a little bit, but I love this. I know all of you have seen this meme. This meme. When will the squad start helping the working class? That's the neat part. They won't. Getting tired of this meme being so relevant, and that's so true. An old meme. Now let's see some of the other comments. Here's another good one. You deserve to be primary from the left. You weren't elected to stand in lockstep with that corporate clown Hakeem Jeffries, you've become an establishment Democrat in 4 years. Absolutely unreal. So maybe that's the 4 years, like the person was saying earlier. I'm telling you, it's not a single good comment. I'm just going down the line. You weren't sent there to be united with the Blue Dog Democrats. You were sent there to be rebels, disrupt and the establishment, not to become it. You're a failure, a liar, a fraud. Going at the throat. And look at this one. She's turning into Nancy Pelosi. Here's another one. Why do you pretend to be progressive? It is very narcissistic to lie to people about supporting progressive. This is actually a good one. Let me blow this up. Why do you pretend to be progressive? It is very narcissistic to lie to people about supporting progressive policies so that struggling working class people give their hard-earned money to you so that you can then turn your back on them. That is such a great comment to talk about what you were saying, Nick, and what you've been pointing out lately is that they're worse to take take the money from struggling working class people who believe in the stuff that you're saying makes you worse than taking money from corporate corporations
and that's
and
one of the
doing
reasons
that same thing.
And that's one of the reasons why I fell for it. Remember, I laugh at myself all the time because I used to think that like not taking corporate PAC money and rejecting that, like, oh, that must be a good sign because there's no way someone would, like, this is my mindset, like, there's no way someone will take working class people money and then betray them. That's kind of why I fell for it. Because I think there's no way that you're going to think that low. And they did. That's why you guys see the rage I have. I think it's unbelievable that they sleep at night. Like, I still remember the Bernie rallies. Like, I was at quite a few of them. I used to see a lot of the videos. There would be these people that be like, Bernie, man, I'm really struggling with medical debt. We were struggling, but I'll make sure I still gave you $27. There's so many. If you remember these old Bernie rallies, there's so many heartbreaking stories. Bernie used to take that money without flinching, knowing what he's doing. That is literally next level sociopathy. I used to watch those like, yeah, there's no way he's betraying us. After seeing that, you must be fucking unhinged to do that. But nope, I underestimate how evil these motherfuckers were. It still blows me away to this day.
Yeah, in town halls, he sat there and talked to people. They cried about not affording cancer, not affording the bills because of cancer, medical debt, all kind of shit. And he just took their money and ran with it. It's crazy.
He looked them in the eye. He took their money. He looked them in the eye like, I will fight for you, sir. There are so many. How much of a sociopath you had to be to do that? Joe Manchin can't even do that. Joe Manchin's like, I'm all for Ukraine aid. I'm all in for funding military. He tells you exactly who he is. And no one here is praising Joe Manchin. But isn't that more honorable than what these coward scumbags do?
I mean, speaking of Joe Manchin, then he kind of used his own kind of like forced to vote on the BBB bill.
Yeah,
he was holding back. He was holding back, saying he wouldn't vote for it. So they know what to do. You know what I'm saying? Niggas know how to gain power. If not, people around them can show them how to gain more power and how to threaten power and whatnot. They choose not to. They choose not to use their leverage for you. They use it for their career, to advance their career, to make sure that they stay in office for longer than 5 years. Make sure they make sure that they're always taken care of. This isn't about you. They haven't said anything about anything that they ran on since they was elected. And this is how you know it's a grift. This is how you know it's a sham. You got scammed. You know, it's hard to admit it, but fuck, man, the first step of getting over is admitting it. You got scammed. You know, it happened to the best of us. I donated to a couple of people that turns out to be bots or whatever the fuck their little organization was. We all get scammed. I traveled the damn country for Bernie.
Yep,
you know,
look at this New York Post. I've never seen this before. I'll pass
to you. I had to head out.
Yeah, you're gonna be taking off.
I'll be back. At least I had a roundtable. We rescheduled it to Tuesday. Fiorella, it's usually hard to get them booked because she's in Moscow time, but Fiorella will be joining us next Tuesday. I'll be back Monday. We fill out tomorrow, but we definitely be back on Nick and CJ Monday. That's how you guys see me. But I'll pass to you, CJ. I'll just go head out. See you guys.
Yeah. So Nick will be here for sure on Monday. Next Tuesday, hopefully we can get that panel together with the RBN, and then you never know. I have a feeling, Nick, because the last 2 Fridays, there's been some big news that dropped on Friday.
Yeah,
before Christmas. Before Christmas. So I have a feeling something's gonna pop off and we're gonna be doing something at
The
tomorrow.
only
We
reason I
can't
don't-
believe we're gonna be like, we can't believe this happened. Like, and it might have
Yeah.
something to do with the AOC
Yeah, the
and
only
the
reason I'm
Democrats
not
voting.
guaranteeing it because I got we watching the big Chief game because Chiefs in the playoffs.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna hang out with. That's the only reason I'm not guaranteeing it. But that's why I said we fill it up because if there's a story, means we probably I might hop on at least for a little bit. But I see you guys
I'm gonna be
around
watching
and,
that too. So maybe we do it before or after because I'm gonna be watching that playoff game myself. So
Yeah.
all right, Nick.
I see you guys.
All right, yeah. So what was that? Oh, I was just showing the a
AOC.
couple of more comments, Ron, we can show, and then if I don't know if you have a story, but this is funny. Look at this story. Study declares AOC one of the least effective members of Congress, and that's on the New York Post.
What a shame.
Very funny. Let's read a couple more, and then see what else we got going here. This one is from J7, friend of the show. He was out. He's came out and helped Nick Rome, when you were out here for Tour for the Poor in LA.
Yeah.
He's one of them that came out and helped. So I couldn't decide what to go with, lick boot or psyop. So here is a side duck getting licked. Oh man, they just clown. Like this is the left person now. Rome, they're just clowning her. They're just clown. I want to believe, and they got her right here on this. I forget the name of that show, but it's so funny. It's so funny. And then there's a picture again. All right, let's see if we got any super chats, and then we probably be getting out here.
You guys are just hating on AOC, blah blah blah. Like, nigga, yes,
We're
she's
having
a politician.
fun.
I would hate on.
Go ahead.
Nigga, I hate on people with less. I hate on people without political party. I don't give a fuck. Do something to make me hate you. I hate your ass. I will hate you forever. Like it don't matter. Yes, we're gonna talk shit about all politicians, and it's not just the you know what I'm saying, the Democrats or the progressive wing. We call out the whole government. We want a whole U-Haul. You know what I'm saying, on this government. It ain't just the Democrats bad, Republicans good. No, that's how you see things. You see things in black and white. You see things in black and white like that. No.
Yeah, let me actually bring up one more video because we got a couple minutes just before we leave. It's a shorter episode today. Because this you said what?
I'm talking to this comment. I think Nick blocked him.
Blocked. Oh, I didn't even let me see the comment. Let me come around there. Who they asking about, somebody or something?
Yeah, the one troll that was in here earlier.
Oh yeah, I got rid of that. I got rid of that person. The person was annoying, so I got rid of him. So, but let's listen to Justin Amash right here.
Vote for the next Speaker of the House
let me mute it while this plays. Now he is a libertarian, but the reason I want to play this is because when he talks about what the speaker does to maintain their grip, it's amazing. So let's listen to a little bit what he says right here. Let's listen. Oh, turn the volume back on now.
Last time, who bent the knee to Nancy Pelosi, as we've discussed, said they were holding out for good committee positions, said they were holding out for the fight for $15 minimum wage, and saw all of those hopes and dreams go out the window immediately because they had preemptively given up their leverage. So I want to ask you, you've tweeted putting yourself out there as someone who could conceivably be a third-party neutral speaker. Of course, you don't have to be in Congress to actually be Speaker of the House. What do you identify as the fundamental problems here of disunity in Congress, the inability for Congress to get things done that actually reflect the
Now this is the answer of why I wanted to play it. So let's listen closely here, everybody.
Pluralities of Americans, and what would you hope to bring to the table?
Well, the fundamental problem is the centralization of power, and it's been creeping in that direction over the years. And now we fundamentally have a speaker that has almost ultimate power. The speaker controls most of the money. The speaker controls the committee assignments. The speaker controls the chairmanships. The speaker controls what gets to the floor. The speaker controls the amendments. And as the speaker gets stronger because lobbyists and others know that the speaker has all of this power. And so more money comes into the speaker's office and less goes out to the individual members. So now you have a speaker that controls everything completely. We need to decentralize the process. What I would like to do as speaker is open up the entire place. Everyone should be able to participate. People on the left should be able to participate. People on the right should be able to participate. People used to think that what the Freedom Caucus was about was just helping conservatives. I was one of the founding members of the Freedom Caucus, and I can't speak for how it operates now, okay? I'm not trying to defend anything it's done over the past several years. But what I can say is the Freedom Caucus was founded with the idea of opening up the House for everyone, allowing everyone to participate. I want AOC to be able to offer amendments. I want Ilhan Omar to be able to offer amendments because they're part of the representative process too. Marjorie Taylor Greene should be able to offer amendments. I know a lot of people at home might not like these individual members, but this is the way our system works. People in these districts elected these members. They should be able to participate just like anyone else. And that means a lot of so-called moderate members participating and also people on the far right and far left and everyone in between. Everyone should be part of it.
And occasionally there are policy commonalities between all these people to the extent the policy we're really concentrated on right now. The highest one at stake seems to be funding for Ukraine, or is one that's been mentioned. Representative Chip Roy mentioned it as why he's supporting Byron Donalds. It's something that many progressive people on the left, many libertarian Republicans, many very Trumpian Republicans are very concerned about an unlimited commitment to funding this effort. Not that we're unsympathetic to Ukraine. It's not about that at all, but it's something clearly the American people want more debate on. And the question is leadership willing to have that debate? There's so much, there's little difference between what.
So I'm going to rewind it just to another part that Justin makes another good point. So let's listen in one more time and we'll get out of here, everybody.
20 or so dissident Republicans to be dissidents in this moment.
Yes, absolutely. Now, I can't speak to their individual motives. Each person has their own motive for why they might be doing what they're doing. But the House is fundamentally broken. It's been broken for a long time. We haven't had a vote, an amendment vote from the House floor freely offered since 2016, where a member can just go to the House floor and offer an amendment without having the speaker basically pre-screen it and say it's okay. That's not democracy. That's not representative.
You hear that? The speaker would have to screen amendments. The speaker controls all the money. The speaker controls all the committee assignments. You see how Nancy Pelosi got rich? She controls everything.
She wasn't the most powerful woman in the world for no reason.
Yes. Yes.
She was one of the most powerful women in the world.
So I like what Justin Amash, I'm not a Justin Amash fan, but I like what he's saying here. And let's listen to a little more and then we'll get out of here.
Government. And I don't know why people cheerlead that kind of stuff where the system just doesn't work at all. We should want our members to go down there and have vigorous debate. And we want them to read the bills. It's outrageous that a 5,000-page bill might come to the floor and people are given one day. And then I'll always hear these excuses by people on Twitter saying, well, they've had that legislation out there for months and it's just been in different pieces of legislation, and now it's all been combined. Do you expect members of Congress to read every single piece of legislation out there with the expectation that maybe it will be thrown into an omnibus at the end of the year? Like, I'm going to read 10,000 bills because maybe 10 of them will end up in an omnibus. It doesn't make any sense. Right. You have to give people time after you know what's in the bill.
So that's intentional because they don't care what their opinion is. It's that the weapons manufacturers, the special lobbyists said that this is the bill they wrote. This is the one they said they want, so just vote for it. It's not in any intention for you to read the bill because it's irrelevant what you think as a representative. Go ahead.
And for the ones that want to be uppity, like a young Bernie Sanders, and sit there and read through this shit. Read through this shit. I'm giving something to read, motherfucker. Oh yeah, you're gonna have a book right there. It's gonna take you 2 days to even read it, and you ain't even summarizing that motherfucker. I know that. But it's just crazy.
The omnibus bill was the Bible size.
That's crazy.
The federal government don't care about you. That's a fact. Let's go to another comment. Whether a Democrat or Republican is elected, we the people will get right-wing policies. If you don't want right-wing policies, stop voting for anyone running for office in the right-wing duopoly. That is a spot on. I mean, I can't argue with that.
I mean, like, yeah, if you want, I'm a leftist, and these are the people that's closest to my left. No, they're not. How can you call yourself a leftist if these people are the closest to you, right? These neoliberals, these progressives, these people kill people. They bomb countries. Do you not understand that shit? So all that rhetoric that y'all share amongst one another, that shit don't mean nothing. Because I can say whatever the fuck I want, just like half of these motherfuckers do on Twitter. They ain't gonna be about it. They ain't gonna be about it. So where was all these leftist policies during the pandemic? You know, people are going homeless. Where are they at? That's the closest you got, right? If they are the closest to you, then you right wing. I just don't know what else to tell you. How you look at a motherfucker funding ICE, funding Israel, the Iron Dome, bombing Africa, putting sanctions on their own people, and be like, yeah, that's the furthest. That's the closest to me. That's
That's a good point.
What?
That's the best. That's the best we got. That's the best we got doing all this shit. But yeah,
They doing the same shit. They actually signing on to the people that you hate. Their bills. The reason why they are there in the first place. They're signing on to their bills, pushing their agenda, Biden agenda, et cetera, et cetera. And that's the closest leftist that you got. And Congress, no, nobody is close to you. If you want to left, you're alone in this country. There is no left in Congress. There's no left in the House. There's no left in the government. There's barely a left in America as it is. You know, well, I should say the United States, because South America is very left. But yeah, you guys, I think that you are afraid to admit that, you know, you want white supremacy. You know what I'm saying? You want reform over revolution because, like I said before, you guys really feel like the poor is going to come after you, you know. And when we was doing some research, and we found out that the squad is being funded by gentrified neighborhoods, and when we get pushed back on the squad, it makes sense on who's doing the pushing back, you know. And look at Sam Cedar; he live in a gentrified neighborhood. Of course, he's going to push back on the poor. Of course, you're going to push back on the people that want more, because this, you know what I'm saying, us being on the bottom got them where they at today. Why would they want us to rise? You know what I'm saying? We rise and they fall off. There's no reason to watch RBN. There's no reason to watch Sam Cedar. There's no reason to do all that. None of that shit. We're not begging for, you know, universal health care anymore. None of that shit. We ain't no need for no analysts. Ain't no need for nobody to get you hyped up. None of that shit. They don't want us to get better. They don't want your life better. They want you exactly where you're at. And this is why when these people watched 1 million people die last year, they still didn't find their urgent their sense of urgency. It still didn't kick in. 1 million people died. 1 million people died. Like we used to say, oh, 50,000 people die a year. This is unprecedented. But 1 million people died. Everybody like, oops.
That's true.
Under the motherfuckers that y'all put in power. So not only is blood on their hands, there's blood on your hands too. There's blood on your hands. American blood.
That's such a great point. Thank you, everybody who liked the stream. We're at 343. Can we get another 50 likes here? Another 50 likes to take us out. So please like the stream. 50 more people. 50 more likes to bring us to about 400. This was the tally, Rome. We're actually about to hit 28,000. Let me see.
Damn, we probably passed Booty Guard, the mother motherfuckers.
Who? Other than Vanguard? Somebody already told me the Vanguard we passed already. Is it somebody else? No. That was it. Yeah, we passed the Vanguard already. And then we're at 27,875. So this is what I meant by we're getting close to 28,000, our goal at the end of the year. We're a little bit past the year, but
that's crazy, bro. You see how they just lose thousands of fucking subscribers? That's hard to do. People would just stop watching your shit. They won't even unsubscribe, but to lose
unless you start doing some crazy shit.
You must be
crazy shit.
You know, and to not grow. And see, this is the problem with you guys. Kyle Kalinske, Jordan, all you motherfuckers, y'all have to shack up. You have to, shack up all your channels because you ain't gonna grow. You keep spitting that rhetoric, and then you gotta join forces. Okay, enough of my fans stuck with me, enough of your fans stuck with you, and we can do all right. No, That's all you're gonna get. You're not gonna grow outside of that base because you guys are trying to rebuttal reality. You can't rebuttal reality. And every time something happens, and we like, look, this is about to happen. This is going on. Blah blah blah. Y'all motherfuckers be like, no. Okay, watch this. It happens, and now the proletarian is calling you out. Now people are attacking you on Twitter, calling you all kind of fucking names because not only are you a liar, you are misinformed yourself, and you shouldn't be speaking on shit that you don't even know about.
You have no idea about.
You don't even know about the shit that you'll be speaking about. Like the Force to Vote is a great example of this. Is a great example of this. All these people was talking about, well, we're gonna get McCarthy and blah 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 blah. Like, no, that was a lie. You didn't, you know what I'm saying? You didn't just you understood what was going on. You know what I'm saying? Like all of these people with these podcasts and whatnot, all these people that's into politics. If you're into politics and you know how politics work, you knew exactly what you were telling the people. You are a traitor to the people, and nobody should trust you. And this is why you will never grow. You will never grow. And this is why RBN is going to step over all of you motherfuckers. Because not only are we telling the truth, we out there with the people. You can touch us in real time. You can talk to us in real time. And this is why we're going to take over. This is the new face of the left. Bling.
So again, join our subs. Is our Substack up? Yeah, this is our Substack. So join our Substacks to get notifications when we go live. This is sort of unannounced, and we didn't give a lot of notice today, so this is probably the first time I joined. I wasn't going to plan on streaming, and I joined at the last minute. But anyway, join our Substack so you get access to our Discord, along with getting notifications for our streams. We're also going to begin writing op-eds on our Substack, so that's another thing. The other thing is our website. Make sure you go and check it out. That is the website down there at the bottom there. Let me see if there's anything else. I think that's gonna be it. I'll bring in our old friend here.
Hold on, I got one more thing.
Go ahead.
Tour for the Poor. We're doing 3 states, 3 cities. I said states. God damn. I wish I had the type of money. We're doing 3 cities, y'all. Donate to Tour for the Poor. Tour for the Poor on Cashapp. That's all caps. Tour for the Poor on Venmo. We're gonna be in Buffalo, New York, Washington, D.C., and Detroit, Michigan. We're going to be out there at the same time. So if you out there in those cities, let me know. DM me on Twitter, Unholy Rome. The E is a 3. You're going to see me. You'll see CJ, all of us pop up. DM me. My DMs are open. We need as many donations as we can get. We're trying to get hats, gloves, coats, covers, et cetera, because it will be another weather drop in the weather. And I want to make sure that we are there for the people when it does happen. We can't get these people housing, but we're going to get them what we can. So if you can donate, we're taking everything. If you got clothes, if you got anything that you can donate in person, let me know what city that you are in, and I will have an address for you that's closest to you to save us some money and some time. But that's all I got.
Yeah, so make sure you're doing that now. Eventually, all of this information, Rome, you will just be able to say, go to the website and you can get, because that's what we're trying to get, all of this information. People can go get the Tour for the Poor, how to send money. You can just go there and click and get all the information. So make sure you check out that website. We're going to be getting that on there. The other thing is, let's show some of the work. So our only paid employee right now is our editor, and this is some of the work. So all of these new sort of not icons, but what are these called? Graphics that you see. This is all from an editor that we hired. Her name is Erin. But as you can see, it's a lot of great great
like, damn, CJ kind of
graphics.
Stepping up his game. What the hell?
Yeah. So, and we're able to get out 3 or 4 clips every day. That's all because of the work that she's doing. But this is all hers. Like if I do a live stream, she may not have time to do it, and that might be the only time. But here's a good one right here, J. Cole. Here's another one with Glenn Greenwald. Some great graphics and cutting these clips. And I'm saying all of this to say, we're doing ongoing fundraisings to pay for our labor, and Aaron is our only one right now, but we're going to be hiring probably 2 more people. But we can only pay them adequately if you donate. Cash App, Venmo, make sure you donate. We're going to be setting up a GoFundMe and getting this all set up on our website. We found a merch. So we're going to be selling merch. I sent the link to you. So a merch that's union, a merch that believes in anti-imperialism, we found it's a co-op. So we found that. Thank you to, I think it was Marco. Shout out to Marco who emailed us. And there's another one. So there's multiple people. So there's another person that emailed me. I don't want you to think you're forgotten either. We replied to you.
I got a book of designs that's ready to go. Like we can do the Kiss Economy and
we gonna put it's gonna be several because Sabby says she has a bunch of designs. So and I have a bunch of ideas. So all our ideas, man, we putting everything on there. Let people have choices. My stuff is gonna be kind of out of the box. I'm gonna be using a lot of references on there, stuff that we use here, like these motherfuckers. Like I want to get a shirt that just says these motherfuckers, and maybe have like Joe Biden on it, have other oligarchs on it. So it's gonna be, we're gonna be doing a lot of good different things that we could do. So make sure you check us out. Make sure, like I said, you donate if you can. Patreon is also a way of making sure RBN is able to do the things you want us to do in the future. If you want us to be out in the field interviewing people, if you want us to be out traveling from city to city, helping people, tour for the poor, we can only do it if people donate. We can only do it with the financial support of our community. So I just wanted to make sure I include that. We got to get better at raising money, Rome. And since I have a sales background, I'm gonna be pushing people. We have to get better at raising money. We have a community of 28,000 people. If we just had one person, everybody give $1, that's $28,000. $28,000, that's more than a half of the money you're trying to raise for your library. You see what I mean? Yeah. Like it's all about getting people active. We don't need more people to give higher amounts. We just need more people to give lower amounts.
Yeah.
That's
more people to give lower amounts. Yeah.
$1 or $2, $3, $4, something like that. Be a Patreon member for $2 or $3 a month. That's what we're looking for. We're looking for low amount longevity instead of high amount and very short longevity, I guess you would say.
Yeah, it's
all right, Rome. Go ahead.
Money. Too much money coming in fast, probably corrupt and fuck out of motherfuckers.
No, we gonna have to get people in place. This is what I'm saying. We're gonna have to get a financial person in place. We're gonna have to eventually get a lawyer, but we already have some people that kind of know us, that like us, that kind of help us here and there. So, but there's a lot of stuff we want to do, but we can only do that if you're supporting, if you're liking, if you're sharing. If you can't financially support, share on Facebook. Share wherever you can share. Go ahead, bro.
Joseph to say sending a donation to Tour for the Poor. Thank y'all. And we need all that we can get. I gotta go, but
yeah, me too.
It was nice. It was a nice show. Nice having y'all. Y'all, thank you for coming. Thank you for watching.
All right, Rome. Yeah, and I'm gonna throw up everybody's comments as I play this video. Rome is checking out. I'm the last one here, but I'm gonna be checking out too. So I'll throw up the comments as the video plays.
Mrs. J.D. Mallon, and I think this is the most ridiculous thing that has ever happened. The Negroes are just as free as we are. They have the same opportunity to work and to build their part of the town up just the same as we have. I just don't understand it and don't approve of it. I'm going to stand up for my rights.
Thank you very much. Jim Knight with WALB Television News. We're soliciting the views of Albany people on the Civil Rights Bill. Would you like to give us your views?
Well, I think if they remain peaceful, it would be a lot better than perhaps the violence that was concerned. Well, of course, being a Southerner, I'm not for it at all.
I see.
And I just don't know how it's going to turn out. I hope we don't have any trouble.
We're soliciting opinions on the Civil Rights Bill. Would you like to give us yours?
I'm sorry, but I don't think it's the time right now. I think they have equal rights, though.
Thank you very much. Would you like to express your views?
No, I don't think so.
How about you?
Nope.
What I'd have to say wouldn't be fit to go on air.
Thank you very much.
I don't like it. I think they're just trying to put something on us that we don't want.
I see.
We ought to have a national election on it rather than just letting 9 men tell us what we got to do.
And how about you?
I feel the same.
Fine, thank you very much.
I sure don't like it, that's for sure.
I see. Do you feel this will have any effect on your life directly?
I imagine it will.
Thank you very
I'm
much.
afraid we might have neighbors to live next door to us.
Thank you.